get out of this. I should be live right now. Cool. Now go to Twitch. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So. Cool. So yeah. Let's pause this there. I'm back here to talk about whatever. I don't know. I have no games to play because I just don't care to play. I'm sorry. It's a fine game. I'm so like it's a fine game. Okay. But I don't give a hoot about Zelda Breath of the Wild. I don't care. It's like there was Breath of the Wild, and then there was Twilight Princess. That I just Breath of the Wild, but then before that it was Twilight Princess where I just didn't care. Well, no, actually, I liked Twilight Princess, to be honest. What I didn't like was Wind Waker at the time. And then when I first played it, and then I played it again, I'm like, oh no, this is actually, like, fantastic. Like, so good. Like, really good. Like, what am I, a stupid kid? I was a stupid kid who didn't know better. But now I'm like, oh, I don't like Twilight Princess. And Skyward Sword, forget it. It's dumb. I don't like it. I don't think it's horrible. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So, yeah. What were they going to say? Yeah, so. Wonder why. I was looking at different things, too, and, like, if you want a weird domain. I was looking at domains, right? I was looking at domains with my friend and whatever, and it was funny domains here and there. But the thing that I looked up, like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, something like that, when I was looking at, like domains. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. It was something to the effect of, like, yeah, it was the fact that, like, if you want a weird, dot, you want a weird, like, what's that called? Like, dot, whatever, like, .com. Like not .com, but, like, you want, like, .ca or .uk or dot ninja, pizza, tech, media. Like, it's all going to be slightly more expensive. And certain ones are more expensive than others. Obviously, some are slightly more expensive than others because they're, like, weirder and whatever. But, just a sec. But, some, yeah, so, and so I know a friend who has a photography website, and it's a videography website, actually, but maybe it's photography and videography. I'm sure she wouldn't be averse to doing photography. She does photography, so, and videography. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point I'm trying to make here is it's a dot media, and I'm like, and I wonder sometimes, what's the benefit of of something that's not .com, right? I know it's to be cool or to, like, show that you're in Canada or you're in the UK or you're in whatever, Germany or Iceland or Poland or Swaziland. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's show that. But then other ones like .pizza, .sax, .ninja, .tv, like Tuvalu, .battery, I'm sure there's a whole. You can probably go infinitely, probably with any word. Probably depends. I don't know how the like HTML works for that, but yeah. And so I'm kind of thinking, what's the point of anything other? And then other ones were like, it's a media file, so there's media there. Okay, sure. And tech is the tech website, sure. But, like, is there a benefit? Is it better to have that rather than like just .com or .ca? I have no idea, because I sent her. Because what I did was I sent her, like, a ad that said something like, "You want a website that's .ca? You want to represent, your country, Canada?" It's like, I sent it to her, and she sent me just question mark. I said, "Oh wait, do you have a website?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Never mind then. Forget that then." Like, okay, great. And then I found it, or she sent it to me, and whatever. So it's weird. I don't know. I just think it's kind of strange, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't care. It works. The other problem is you're not going to naturally find it because you're not going to go, oh yeah, person's name .com. You're not going to do that, Wow, that microphone is kind of giving a little shadow. Although there's shadows about everywhere. Ooh, that's just inconsistent lighting. Look, don't like that, but I don't have a better camera, really, so. I don't have an actual camera, so. And again, I saw someone with a camera last night at the, young adults thing, and I went, oh, I want a camera. I want a real camera. I want a real camera. And I say real, what I mean by real is digital. A modern camera, not just a film camera. But, I mean, look, film cameras are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm just saying, I want a digital camera so I can, actually take photos. I don't have to worry about whatever. Anyway, it's fine. I don't care. It is what it is. What's the difference here, right? But, in film cameras, right? Because I was going to ask the photographer, but she wasn't. It wasn't the same photographer. She wasn't taking photos. It was the guy who runs the thing. The guy who runs and created it. Okay, I'm gonna go say right now that I'm 90% sure that this guy did not. No, I need to change the camera. So go this way or that way? Yeah, did not create it. It was supposedly, he claims, from the 1 year anniversary. It was him, the person who ran our young adults at my previous church, and then another guy who was a youth pastor. Nope, worship leader, ran it. And I'm telling you, that third worship guy, he did nothing. He didn't add anything, and he hasn't been doing worship there in months. He did it twice, maybe 3 times. So I thought he was going to be it's going to be this. Okay, so it's going to be. I thought it was going to be this guy, my friend I know, and then this other guy, and maybe some drummer, whoever. And so, but no, and which is fair. It's a bunch of random churches, any church that wants to do it, or any group of people who want to do it. I'd do it. I'd do it if I knew how to play ukulele better. Because all the ones that I play are 1 strum per thing. Also 1 strum per chord, and also I don't know. I've never played with another living soul. I played 1 time with somebody on ocarina, and he was playing guitar, and good gosh, was I awful because I could not connect with 2 people. Also, he's like, yeah, we probably should practice more, and we should do a whole setup. And I'm like, okay, sure. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. We definitely should, but just too late at that point. He calls to me the night before, goes, you want to do it with me? I'm like, or, maybe I should have added it together so it sounds better. It's I had 1 of 2 thoughts. I'm like, no, you're going to screw everything up. Right? But then really it's oh, but if I mess up, you could catch me and fix it and not make me sound like a total twad. Although it was not as good as I remember. Not as good as it could have been that night. That's fine. Also, it was in the middle of the pitch black, and I just didn't even know what the hell I was doing. I couldn't even see I couldn't see my what are they called? Chords, and I couldn't see my tabs actually, and I couldn't see my ocarina. Now with the ukulele, I could probably no, I know actually that there are certain songs I could just do with my eyes closed. There's 1 or 2 songs I could just do with my eyes closed. I know it so well, I could do it with my eyes closed. It's actually incredible. Because my mother was like, how does anybody know this? How does anybody know how to play this? And I went, well, Ma, it's you set it up in such a way, or you just memorize what chord is what. How do you know what anything means in any hobby when they use a technical term from that hobby? Or from that thing, from that whatever, right? The noise gate of a microphone, or the noise gate of this whatever audio mixer, right? It's okay, what does that mean? You just know what that means because you've learned what that means. You just learn what do you call them? What the chords are, and you just memorize them. You go, okay, great. A C chord is this. A G chord is this. Whatever, Now reading sheet, forget it. Although I think the person who was, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw that the person who was the photographer who was doing worship, I think she had had sheet music. I was like, first of all, do a lot of people use sheet music for guitar? I guess you could technically do it for every instrument because sheet music is just chords in a different format. At least from what I know of it, it's just chords in a different format. So I'm not saying it's good or bad. It seems like that's one of those snobby things too within that. In like that kind of hobby where it'd be like, oh, you don't know how to, like, you've been playing for how long and you don't know how to play chords? Or sorry, you don't know how to read sheet music? Peasants. What do you call them? What are they called? You're a plebs. Pleb. Like, get off your high horse. Michael Jackson, who people claim to be one of the best performers and musicians of all time, couldn't really play anything. So, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Elvis Presley could only play 2 chords. He was only ever able to play, or only ever knew, like, 1 or 2 chords. And so he, like, faked a lot of what he was doing. Although, also, he wrote nothing and took a lot of people's songs. From what I've heard, I don't know if this is 100% true. I know at least Hound Dog was pulled from somebody else who played it originally. But, apparently he didn't, they would, like, rewrite songs to fit his style, and then just it's his song now. It's like, which is not, but, and you can do that. It's fair. You can play somebody else's song. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. We think of these songs so like heavily as as Elvis Presley's, and now it's like, oh no. So anyway, yeah. So, don't give me that crap. Don't get off your high horse and stop thinking you're so much better than everybody else by being like, oh, well, I can read sheet music, so I'm smarter than you. Yeah, it's like knowing how to do complicated math in your head rather than in a calculator. It's like, yes, it's more impressive, but nobody cares. Nobody goes, oh, wow, such a better human being. You know, such a better human being, you know. No, they don't care. They don't give a freaking flying fatootie. Especially in this day and age where it's like, if you can produce music, who gives a hoot? If you know chords, good for you. Like, that's good, you know. I'm not saying it's, you know, and I'm not saying it's a waste of time if you know sheet music, because it depends on how you walk into a thing. You walk into any kind of concert, but what do they call it? Orchestra, and you're going to have to know sheet music. They're going to hand you everything in sheet music. They're going to be like, no, you need to know how to do this in sheet music. Whereas, you know, you walk into a band, and the band might be like, oh, yeah, whatever, right? I don't care, just know how to play this. It doesn't matter, just know how to play this, you know? Which is fair. I mean, which is fair. So, I don't think it's good, I don't think it's bad. I'm just saying that's what it is. It is what it is. I'm just surprised that, like, a guitarist would use sheet music. Because I know the other guitarist I know, I mean, I don't know her at all, what am I saying, but the guitarist I know, he doesn't play with sheet music, he plays with chords, obviously. I think I actually asked someone like him, or I think I asked somebody somewhere else, maybe on a ukulele subreddit, or the Ocarina Discord, or subreddit, or, what do you call it? Or the Ocarina, whatever, I don't remember what the forum is called, but anyway. How do you know when to, you just kind of play it. Or what's the strumming pattern go? And it's like, and they're kind of like, well, the strumming pattern can be whatever the heck you really want. And I'm like, oh, that's stupid. Yeah, but it's up to interpretation. Unless a song is supposed to be played in a certain way, it's kind of up to your own interpretation. I'm like, oh, that's dumb. Because I was asking, like, how would I strum this? And they're like, look, man, it doesn't really matter. As long as it sounds decent to the song, it's fine. And I'm like, oh, that's dumb, but okay, whatever. What are you going to do, right? So, yeah, if that's how it works, that's how it works. I mean, I can't, like, change it, really. So, yeah. So yeah, because I was thinking, oh, I should have asked him then too. Damn it, I should have asked him when the because I suggested a talent show, and he was like, "That's a great idea. Like I should have thought of that. Dang." But we haven't done it yet. So I'd love to perform in a talent show. It's just I don't know what song to really play. I wanted to play a bunch of. I wanted to like take maybe like a minute, maybe 2 minutes, and mash together like a bunch of songs the same way like they did 32 songs in 8 minutes. I think it was Freddie Greddy, that guy, the guy who does like all the like the video game with lyrics and all that song. You know, where he put those together. Although those are just kind of mashed together, but he just mashed together a bunch of songs. I think it was 32 songs in 8 minutes, something like that. Anyway, I want to do something like that, and I asked people like, well, what do you like? What songs go well together? How did this, I like just look for like easiest songs on ukulele, and just figure out the like what the people are compiling together to show you in a like top 10 list kind of thing, and see how that works and like see how it sounds, And so for me, I was like, I just want to find good songs that I like and that work well. Just give me some way to learn how to do 10 songs or something. But no, I was thinking either. Because I let it go. Nope. Falling in Love. Can't Help Falling in Love. It was one of 4 songs. Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis, which apparently also is not his song either. Well, I've heard it's not his song. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. Can't Help Falling in Love. Hallelujah, which I can write. These are all on ukulele. Hallelujah. Not Perfect. No, it is Perfect. Perfect by Ed Sheeran. I'm thinking out loud. No, Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Or the one that I thought I was going to do was although it doesn't sound like super correct. It's definitely not right because you're supposed to play it on a guitar and you're also supposed to play it completely differently, I think. You're supposed to play it, I think, picking. Or like in a different anyway. It's not 100% correct. But counting sorry, not 100% correct, but Counting Stars by One Republic. I like that one because it's upbeat. It's the only one that's like fully upbeat. Although if I played something like Hallelujah, Can't Help Falling in Love, or Perfect, Perfect, all the females would be like, swooning over you. It's like, oh my god. Although when somebody or my friend played at a talent show at my summer camp, played Thinking Out Loud, they didn't swoon over him, but everybody loved it. So I don't know. They were all like doing this with their hands. They were like doing the wave, whatever it's called. No, sorry. What's it called? Is that called a wave? No. They were like, what's that called? Is there a term for that? I know the wave is this. That's a wave. But what's this? When people do this, Or like, I don't know what that's called. Arm waving, arm moving, arm. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, I think it's a tie between Counting Stars and Perfect. I don't think the other two are going to be played. Although, Hallelujah's not bad. I can play it right now. I don't want to. I might play it later, but yeah. So, and if you can help me, which one you think sounds better, let me know or which one you think should be better. Also, I should probably play them both, and like let you see which one I should play. Because like, for me at least, I feel like, Perfect would be a more like, people would like that song more. And Counting Stars, I think I do better, or like I like it better because it's more upbeat. Thinking about the thing that we could be. And that's not a song I know how to play with my eyes closed, which is weird. You would think by now I would. I played it so many times. Like I practiced so many times. Also, when my friend, back when I was doing the ukulele, the ocarina, right? I played ocarina for my young adults. It was like, or previous church young adults anyway. It was like, oh yeah. He said, oh yeah, I play 2-3 weeks beforehand. I'll just sit there and play and practice these songs if I know I'm going to be on stage on a Sunday. It's like, oh. Or just playing somewhere. I'm like, oh. So it's like a really long time. You sit there and do it. It's like, yeah. Oh yeah, 100. Yeah. And so I've been playing it for months since like learning some of these worship songs and learning some of these non-worship songs for like months since like not the September that just passed, the previous September. So also I've been playing it on the Discord because I'm like, oh well, there's a Bible study and here's the Discord, and then, yeah, no, on Discord, on the young adults Discord, no, it's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna show up, which I find kind of strange because there are people who are clamoring, not clamoring like, oh I really want, but like they're like making the point of I'd like a Bible study, because guess what, we're not studying the Bible. Now, for whatever this was, 6 months to 9 months, 6 to 9 months or so. 6 to 9 months, maybe 10 months or so. We've been doing a setup where it's more set up in a way that we can ask questions. I think the open-ended question period, and then like just a free question period, kind of didn't work because people had to like think on their feet, like, oh, what should I ask, blah blah blah. But if they have questions and they know that like, well, maybe my question will be asked, let's put it on, because we put it on the board and we democratically go and vote on which one we think, unless there's like 3 questions, then we'll just do them all. But 3 or 4 questions, then we'll just do them all. But if there's more, we'll usually like, we'll put up your question on the board and then on the whiteboard, and then we'll like vote on which one we think should be done, and we'll do like the first maybe 2, maybe 3. And so at least for me, I like that idea because my friend asked me that. I like that idea because it works so much better than a Bible study where the guy is asking a question about something really deep and really like meaningful and like very theological, and then everybody's looking at it like this is stupid. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is right over 90% of the people's heads, 99% of people's heads. There's like 3 people in that group, the pastor and like 2 or 3 other people who like would understand it, and everybody else just like it's gone over their heads. And so I'm not saying it's bad that to do it that way. Just he would, because he would bring his sermon would be on the Sunday, and I was like, oh god, this is ridiculous. It is stupid. And it would be this big awkward silence, and everyone would look, and then somebody would say something about something, and they're like, and then you'd have this look on some people's faces where it's like, oh, thank you. You know, this the same way all the other Bible studies way in the past as kids. I was always in a group of people, me included, who didn't want to say anything just because like I don't know what to say about this thing, or like I'm not some amazing theologian who's gonna like bring crazy theological insight to this. It's not what they're looking for, but it's still just like it's dumb in my opinion. So like it would be like this awkward silence of like, and they'd like kind of like look around and be like, you know what to add to this? You got anything to add to this? I don't. Like they do that like, you got something to add to this? I don't. No, do you? No, do you? And then when someone would say something, it would be like this, oh, thank you. Like a sigh of relief, like, oh, thank you. Somebody said something to make this night not feel so awkward. This like setup not feel so awkward. So, and then he started going to questions because he was like, I think the pastor realized, okay, doing it that way doesn't work because nobody gets anything out of it, and we're not like smart people. I think he started with ChatGPT, or maybe slightly before that we did questions before that. Well, he also brought up topics too, like he brought up baptized by the Holy Spirit. He brought up relationships. He brought up well, no, that was because of ChatGPT. Never mind. And then ChatGPT brought up things like, why would a good God send you to hell? Basically, why would a God who loves everybody send people to hell, kind of thing. And then that brought up predestination, and then it was basically just the person who left and the pastor, the girl who left and the pastor, like having a debate, healthy debate, but you know, a debate of just like their opinions on the matter. Like, well, no, I think it's this. Well, no, I think it's this. And then what happened? What the pastor basically, the conclusion he came up with, at least, and we all kind of agreed with it, was this whole, or we didn't question it, I guess, was this whole like, that's one of those topics. And he also said that when he was talking about baptized in the Holy Spirit, where it's like, okay, look, this is a very important topic, but it won't change your salvation. Basically, you should probably with the baptized in Holy Spirit though. Most Christians will get, like, if you're a real Christian and a true Christian and like a devout Christian and a following Jesus Christian, you'll probably get that set up. But if you never feel like a huge, like, I got baptized in the Holy Spirit and I have the Holy Spirit, it's like great. And it's not a one-time thing either. It's like a sanctification thing where over time you get it and you can get it multiple times and blah blah. Anyway, he's saying it's not like going to change your salvation, like change your faith. You know, like it may change your faith, but it won't change your salvation, and like it won't change your position of salvation. Oh, you don't have it yet. Oh, you haven't gotten that arbitrary topic down, that pedantic topic down that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Well, you're screwed and you're damned to hell. No. But he said it's important things. Like he was talking about the predestination one. It's important things. But the great thing about all this is you and I can have completely different opinions, and we'd both be fine and still in the same level playing field, and we're the same standing with God. No, nothing changes. You're not right necessarily, and I'm not wrong necessarily. And I thought to myself, God, every Christian should be like this. Every Christian should be like this. Because we have pedantic, stupid things where it breaks up freaking entire churches leave because of stupid pedantic things like, well, how the worship music is played, or how this is done, or how that's done, or, oh, we shouldn't do this, or we should use our money like this, or... Anyway. Whatever, like, you know, oh, we shouldn't be doing this, or, oh, that's dumb, or women should never talk, or in church, and it's like... So yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, it's like, yeah, you should probably. Also, with the predestination thing, you're never gonna like fully know the answer to that question. Is it did God predetermine what's gonna happen to us, or do we have free will? That kind of thing. It's like you can believe kind of either way and be correct and non-correct and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So yeah, but with the other one, it's kind of a like more like no, that it's real. You can get baptized by the Holy Spirit. But if you never, like, feel this, like, deep, like, baptized with the Holy Spirit, it's not going to change your faith. As long as you believe in Jesus, it's fine. It's like baptisms, where some people believe, nice to see you, haven't seen you in a hot second. Hi. I'm doing fine. It's like, that's, like, right. It's like baptisms. I personally don't think you need to be baptized. I don't think you need to be baptized in a... Okay, you lurk. Baptized in like a hard... Or sorry, in like a... Not hard. In like a... You chose that as an adult kind of thing. If you're baptized as a baby, it's not that bad. Sure. It's more like a... Oh, hi. How many people are here now? Does it say how many people are here? I have no idea how many people are here. Probably one or two. Hello, Daniel. Daniel is rating you with a party of 5. Wow, okay, that's a lot. But yeah. I'm not saying baptisms aren't important. I think they're very important. I just think that, like, if you never decide to get baptized in, like, a big, huge way, or even at all, it's not going to change your standings with God. God's not going to be like, get to the gates of heaven, and God goes, well, you're going to hell. You didn't get baptized. Or you never got that, like, deep, Holy Spirit inside of you. So... That's just my opinion on that. I don't think it's awful, but I definitely do think, like, oh, it's important, but there are more important things to deal with. Like, although you do look at baptisms in, like, the Bible, and it is a bunch of, like, baptisms were very important in that theologically it's not really talked about. It's talked about very little. There's, like, a very small little bit of, like, theological text, but you do see that the Christians all, or the Jews who want to follow Jesus all do that, like, because they were getting baptized by John the Baptist, and then Jesus comes along and, like, says, oh, it's going to be a new baptism in the Holy Spirit, or baptism in fire, or baptism, whatever he said. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something to that effect. And so it was like, okay, and then every subsequent time after Jesus, that people start like following Jesus or want to become what we call Christians, you know, because Christian didn't exist. I'm not saying Christians like they're not Christians, like fake Christian. No, but I'm saying Christian like Christian, like the way we see Christians, because there were no Christians back then. I mean, people were there was because we just read last night actually at the young adults thing. The speaker was talking about that point where we first were where the Jews were first called Christians. So anyway, in Acts, but anyway, every subsequent time the Jews want to follow Jesus, it's immediately preceded with a baptism. So there is an importance to baptisms. I just personally don't think it's like if you never get baptized, you're damned to hell. So that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Don't, don't stone me. Don't bring out an angry mob against me. The, what are they called? Pentecostals? Or is it Pentecostals? There's one a denomination of Christians who believe baptisms as like a big thing. I know the Anabaptists, so like the Amish and the Mennonites highly believe in baptisms, but they do it in like a almost like the Catholics do. Feathers. What are feathers? I'm sorry. What just happened here? Feathers are 23 feathers. Feathers, friend, 23 feathers. Daniel plays feathers, blah blah feathers. Friends. Mario's about to help their feathers. Feather friends, sending all the feathers. Feel vibes with feathers. Follow as you go about protecting the traveling. Okay, I never heard of feathers. It's probably one of those like bits type of things you can sell to someone. Not sell, but like you can give to someone, or you can like give to me or whatever. I don't know. Sure, whatever. But yeah. What were they going to say? Yeah, so I know they believe in it, and apparently the Quakers are the only people who don't have formal baptisms. Like they don't believe like you need baptisms, I guess. So they're kind of in my camp of like, yeah, you should probably get baptized, but it's not nearly as important as some people make it out to be. Because some people make it out to be like, quoth the raven nevermore. Rasping, rasping, from atop my chamber door, quoth the raven nevermore. Yeah. So, because what I think of it is like it's like a set in stone. Like you've decided that that's it, and you've decided to say to people, you have to help me stay accountable to you because I've come to you and said, because that's what it is. A baptism is a public declaration of it's an outward sign of an inward emotion. The public declaration saying, okay, I've accepted Jesus, I've done the whole in my heart thing, and now outwardly I'm telling you people I'm following Jesus, and I would like to be held accountable by you, whether it's at a church or a group of people you actually know or summer camp or whatever. My brother got baptized at a summer camp. My friend also got, I guess, best friend at this point, got baptized at a summer camp. I know another friend who got baptized at a summer camp, actually. I know quite a few people who got baptized at a summer camp, actually. Wait a sec. I want to check if that other person was. You suck. Campaigns, no camp. Okay, gotta go into file floor. I know quite a few people who got baptized at summer camps. And somebody made the point. It was young kid. He was about, I don't know, 12 or 13 or 14. And he made the point, which is fair argument to have, that like he was also baptized as a baby, right? But also no. Dang it. Fine. I'm trying to look for a specific camp folder to find the picture. But anyway, no, all it's in here. JPEGs. Oh. Huh? Anyway, he made the point, which is a fair point for argument to have. It was basically It was basically, well, you don't get to choose that you want to be baptized as a. That's a whole Anabaptist like argument. So it's like the Amish's argument where it's like, the Amishes basically came out of around the time of Luther, when there was the whole Reformation, right? There were these group of people who came out and were like, well, baptism should be a part of that, where we say, well, you can't just decide, because you're not going to decide as a kid, as a baby, as a, whether you want to be baptized. Baptism is like a choice, is it not? Because it's not one of the things that you just do as a Christian. So it's not like taking communion, right? So it's not like just taking communion where it's like, oh, there we go. That took long enough. Oh, it's under that. That's why. It was in a different folder. Or it's in a different thing altogether. What's it called? I don't have those pictures. What? Oh, must be on there and I just don't. Ah, poopy. Fine. Anyway, fair enough, fine, whatever. Yeah. So it's not like communion where you just youth on the air camp. Excuse me. Oh yeah. No. Daniel Raid chocolates. Okay, cool. I don't know what this stuff is you're giving me. I don't know if that means I have whatnot. Anyway, I know people left just because like it's boring to listen to me. Hello there. What's his name? Hyper Knight Raven? Hyper Knight Raven, and Promptomax Photos. Hey, you like photos? You got photos in your name. I love photos. Feather Friend, yes, and Raven. Max and Raven. I'm confused. I don't get how these feathers work. What are they, like things you give a streamer? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. I like photos. I take photos. Max and Raven. I'm confused, but okay, sure. They are just emotes. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I thought it maybe like bits or something, or a form of bits. Kind of like how TikTok has their stupid things where you send them like, it's like hearts and cupcakes and stars and something and coins or whatever, but you have to buy them all, and they're like, currency is dumb, with real money, and it's like this equivalent, like this much money for one or whatever. One is like, but I don't know, it's stupid. But anyway, what are you gonna say? I was gonna say, yeah. So that's just my opinion on that, and there you go. So the Anabaptists do have a point. You would get a thing in your activity bar if they were bits. Oh, okay. I would get like a notification. Got it. I wouldn't actually like. Okay, it wouldn't be over here. It'd be there. Got it. Cool. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so they make a sense where they're saying, well, you have to be an adult to actually like get to like take, or not even necessarily an adult, but you have to like actively decide, I'm going to choose to do that. Cool. You know? Oh. Okay. So yeah. At least in my opinion, that's. Would you get a thing in your activity board if they were bits? Okay, cool. So yeah. That's it. There you go. We can talk about anything you want, so bring up a topic and we'll talk about it. Obviously, there's some exceptions to that, obviously, but hey. Yeah. And then also looking at last night at because I was talking to a friend also about authorization, not just about the photographer and who decides and what deciding gets the who decides what pictures get what, right, and how do they choose pictures. It was also just authorization in general of how authorization happens at that place like that. Every place there's been authorization. Every group of Christians who claim to have or making a community, which is a bullshit word. I'm sorry, I'm going to say that right now. The Protestant Christians use that word, it's bullshit. But anyway, right? They right, have always been observation. And there, I was telling them and talking to him about it, and he was just kind of like, or I said to him, like, well, we don't know what their, like, margin of error is, right? Could be like 10%. Could be as high as 10%. Right? And that's a lot of people based on if that was only maybe like 25 people there. That's a lot of people. 10% of 25? That's insane. I don't know what the math is, but gosh, man. That's incredible. And so I looked last night, I went, am I the only one standing around not being talked to? And I'm looking, I'm going, I think so. That's pretty good. That's pretty good out of whatever, 25, 50, in that range. I was the only one. That's pretty good. And then somebody came to talk to me, so I'm like, hey, they've gone down to a net zero. Because I said to my friend, you would think that there would be a net zero. They would want a net zero. But then again, I don't know if they have a margin of error, because they kind of would like figure out, oh yeah, we can't actually do this perfectly. Meaning, we can't have every single, like, you can't please every single person. That's the other thing too. And we can't talk to everybody. It doesn't work that way. Which is fair. Don't get me wrong. That's fair. I'd probably have the same attitude. I'd be like, well, I can't fix everybody, and I can't do that. You know? Which is fair. Probably can't. I wouldn't probably be able to do it either. But you would think that they would want to try and get net zero. But they don't. Because I said to my mother, I found out what the criteria for photos is, at least from the person taking the photo. And it was candid photos. He's like, oh yeah, it's well, he didn't say candid, but I like figured out in my head. I'm like, oh, that means candid. Okay. Because I thought to my friend, I'm like, you know, it's probably candid photos. It's probably like take good candid photos. And then the photographer can interpret that whatever way they would like, the person, you know, the photographer would like to interpret that. Because it's not been the guy in charge yet. So he's not making a decision for which photos to choose and which photos to take. So I asked him, I'm like, what's your criteria? He's like, well, what do you mean criteria? And he goes, what's your, like, how do you choose which photo? And he goes, oh, when it's a good conversation, when it looks good, when it looks like they're all together, when they're socializing. I'm like, okay, so it's candid photos. Got it. So me sitting down, we'll never get a photo. Got it. And if you're telling that to the photographer, then I don't even necessarily have to talk to the photographer. I could just be like, oh, I could make an educated assumption based on what you just said there to say, oh, you tell that to the photographer, so the photographer takes the same kind of photos. Got it. And the only way to fix that problem is if I was a photographer. And I don't have a camera to take a photo like that, and I don't know photography that well to be able to take great photos. So there is where I kind of fall apart, where it's like, you know, like, it falls apart, and like, the only way would be if I became the photographer. And that's kind of like what my friend said. He's like, well, we have to actively do. We have to change. But if we want change, we have to actively do. If you want something done, you got to do it yourself. And I went, yeah, no, you're right. He was saying it as we have to go to every other young adults, like, group. And I was like, but that doesn't solve the problem of everybody else who gets ostracized, myself included. Bye. Have fun. You can lurk if you want. You can stay here and do whatever. Is it Matt? Video games. Thank you. And hey, if all of you guys could follow, that'd be nice. Also, follow me on YouTube if you can, please. On both my channels on YouTube, so. Matt, hi. I don't know who you are, but hey, thanks for coming. Please follow if you can. Join my Discord. I'm a real influencer now. Join my Discord. Follow me. Like and subscribe. That kind of stuff. I hate like and subscribes, but okay, sure. But yeah, so. I think that doesn't fix the problem of everybody else, though, where they're still ostracized, right? And he goes, no, I guess it doesn't. But, also, that fixes one problem where you like actually get to know everybody, and then you feel like you're connected with every church. Because you decide, okay, this month we're going to look at, maybe not this month, but like this week we'll look at this church, and then next week we'll learn, go to this other church, and the next week go to this other church, and we'll go to this one, and by the end, you've gone to every church that attends, and you know everybody. Now you know everybody. Are you close with everybody? Are you friends with everybody? No. The same way when someone walked to me last night, they would like, "Why are you standing there all alone?" And I went, "I'm just watching, waiting. I'm just waiting, watching, observing." And then he goes, "You know anybody here?" And I go, "Yeah, I know a few people." And I go, "Well enough to actually go up to them and talk to them?" No. And he goes, "Fair enough. I was standing around for a while too." So, and those people shouldn't exist. But whatever. So he's like, I went, "Yeah, I guess so." So that you could like, in theory, walk into any group of people and say, "Oh yeah, because we interacted and did things and I know you from your young adults group," and that none of them would be averse to people showing up to it, and so because of that, it would I can I just walk into any group because I know you've cut from whatever. Problem is, if I know you vaguely, I'm not doing the thing I did in high school. I did that in high school. I went into the groups of people, and if I knew at least one person, I just walk into it. It is a bot. Stream Elements is a bot. What do you mean Stream Elements is not a bot? What are you talking about? Stream Elements is a bot. Is it not? What do you mean by that? Oh, wait. More chocobos to clear you from your retro game for to watch you both play games and make sure you stretch like a chocobo. Yeah, sure. A mod? What's the benefit of having it a mod? What's the point? Does it do something good? I don't want it to become a bot that starts doing random stuff. So, well, yeah, it gets access to more features. Okay, well, what features? What's the benefit? Because I would do it if it gives me good features. I just don't want it to start doing random things, like changing stuff and like becoming weird and doing all this like stuff that is not good, or stuff I just don't want. Hey, if it gives me better, if it does good for me, sure, why not? How do I change it if it's a good thing? Anyway, so that's just my opinion on the matter, or that's what my friend's opinion on the matter. And then I was like, sure, that works, but it doesn't fix any problems. It's not a malicious bot. You can fully control what it does. Okay, so how do I add it then as a mod? Manage goals, no. Stream together, no. Clip chat, no. Clip that, no. Edit stream info, no. Oh, sorry. Wow, I have the wrong stream element thing here altogether. I was not playing that at all. I was actually just doing this. That was wrong. I didn't change that. Sorry. Just do /mod or something like that. Okay, /mod mods /mod. Dang it. Let's search, you bums. Invalid username. Invalid username. I don't get this. I tried it this way and I tried it that way. Oh, I think I might know why. Wait, let me try something. It might be this. And then I don't want this, I think, maybe. Invalid username. I don't get it. Try one other thing. Unable to add moderator. Unable to add the moderator. Mario granted privilege to... Stream elements. That stream element is not... That's not right. Ah, I did that wrong. I know how to do it. Just give me a second here. Just give me a second here. I know how to do it. Then go to the... No, 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 no. I know how to do it. It's this, this. It's because the guy doesn't exist. It's not stream elements. It's stream elements. Mario granted privilege to stream elements. There you go. I don't know what he's going to do, but yeah. There we go. Stream elements is now a mod, apparently. How do I see a list? Oh, I can see a list of mods, actually, right here. Give me. Yeah, stream elements and stream elements. Oh. Now, how do I get rid of a mod? How do I remove a mod? Because I added stream elements instead of stream elements. See the list here? How do I remove a mod? Maybe like this. And then username and then get rid of it and then stream elements. Unmod. Okay, cool. Slash unmod. Stream elements. You have removed trim elements. Now if I go to list of mods, mods, and then it should just be so it's just you, Daniel, the Restream bot, and stream elements. Got it. That works now. Cool, cool. It's falling over. Don't fall over. I want to go back. So yeah, whatever. Hey, works. And look, I don't really care. I thought to myself, why am I still going to these things? Because my mother asked me why do I go to the previous church because I've had problems with my new church where I've had problems with. And then somebody else asked me why are you going to the previous church, and then I said to something like, okay, you can lurk now, but I'm gonna go till probably 2:00. So, but what were they saying? Yeah, so, and then it was like, well, it's the same reason I still go to this thing, this young adults rally. I want to know what's going on. I want to just see what's going on. I mean, that goes, stupid idea, stupid reason. I'm like, come on. That's a fine reason. Because I just like to know. I don't care. Also, it's like something to do with my life, and like it's and the young adults is every 2 weeks. So for my gonna play some One Piece Pirate Warriors on my PS3. Oh, and did you mod your PS3? Not yet. I haven't modded it yet. I'm probably gonna like maybe make a stream about it. Maybe I don't know if that would be against the rules. I don't know, but yeah, no, not yet. I will do it though soon, because it seems simple. It seems simple from what I've heard, so I might do it soon. Haven't done it yet. I might even do it today, because my PS3 is in the basement, and I can just pick it up and go grab it and do it. It'd be simple, but yeah, not yet. I will though. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I was like, yeah, that's why I do these stuff. I just want to find out why. Because I thought about it even last night. I'm like, why am I here? Do I actually want to socialize with people? Or am I a hypocritical piece of crap that doesn't want to do anything with anybody? Because what I want is, stop telling me. We don't need to know our life story. We don't need to know anything. We don't need to know this stuff. We don't need to do any of this crazy whatever. I don't care. We're not here to go learn deep stuff. I want to be friends with you where we can talk about like random stuff together. Instead of like, because it's dumb. In my opinion, it's dumb. I don't want it. I don't care. Look, I don't care. It's the same thing I said when I said, and I said this to certain people. The modding part is okay. If you show yourself downloading ISOs, then it's probably not. Yeah, I won't do that. And I've even seen people do that where they've shown the ISO stuff too. So it's a mixed bag. But yeah, I might mod it on stream then. Maybe with your help or maybe with whatever if I have problems. Anyway, but it's like the same thing I said to. I've told a few people that my mother, my friend. I've told actually a couple of friends and then maybe I don't remember. And like my mother, and it's like they were kind of just like, what? Wow. Because I said it's easier to talk to a female than it is to a male, and they went, what? Really? And I'm like, yes. You know why? Because a male has a preconceived notion of coming into it with well, what am I going to get out of this? Like, I have to get something out of this or else I'm moving on to the next person. And I'm like, okay. And I'm also that kind of person too, so I think that's just a male thing. What are we have in common? What are our interests? What attracts us together? Why would we want to do anything why would we want to associate with you? Where the female comes to you and goes, no, I just want to be friends with you. I don't give a hoot. We can have nothing in common, but I'll be friends with you, or I'll talk to you. Both parties, though, and I explained to my mother and my friend, well, there's a sexual tension that you have to pass, right? Because Pat Country said that, and I went, oh, yeah. Also, when you end stream, I suggest rating. Okay, I might do that. But, yeah, I might do that. What were they saying? I'm probably going to do that, actually. But, yeah, so, get past sexual tension, where if you don't pass that sexual tension, you know that that's never going to go anywhere, and you should just end the conversation here and just be done with it. But you pass that sexual tension, and then the girl just sees it as like there's no problem with this. Like, there's no reason they need to talk to you. Where the male, because like you can know that the male is bullshitting with you, and it's like, oh well, the male is just trying to like. You have to like, what's the reason, whatever. It's like both parties have this like also section of like. We look at each other like. Cut the crap, kind of like cut the crap. We don't need this. Stop the baloney. Screw off. Don't shit with me. Stop shitting with me. Don't play games with me. We both know we don't want this. And it's like, okay, whatever. And like, that's the thing. Right? So, with the female doesn't necessarily have that problem. The female doesn't have, now, the female can have that problem and we can be the same as a male. But most females are very much, I'll just talk to you to talk to you. So, it's like so much easier because they don't have preconceived notions and they want to talk to you and they want to like interact with you. Whereas a male, it's like, what's the point? Why? Who? And then when they decide to be friends, like as a male, I realized like we decide to be friends once we've like come to like a conclusion of like, okay, yeah, I like this guy. I want this guy to be my friend. Whatever, blah blah. Whereas the female's just like, oh yeah, I like the guy. Sure. Now getting to the friendships section and then past friendship section, those two things, going past I've talked to you and going to friends or more than friends, that's a whole different thing, and that can be some of the hardest stuff ever in any relationship in any way, shape, or form. It's like ridiculous. But talking to them, super easy, because they don't have a preconceived notion of, well, this is what I've already pre-established what any kind of conversation should be, any kind of conversation / relationship should be. So I don't care about you, and like I don't really want to talk to you, but we gotta go do that because that's the thing, right? It's that whole stupid thing of the same stupid thing of how do you like start a conversation? And I looked at 250 conversation starters, and it's like they all suck. They're all either too deep, too shallow, or too just weird. You're gonna ask them some weird question like, what app have you used recently? It's like, no. Oh, I use Twitter all the time. Okay? Or it's one of those questions where it's like, what kind of app? I use Instagram all the time. Oh, cool, so do I. Let's follow each other on Instagram. That kind of thing, right? Whereas, right? And then what do you do after that? You talk about Instagram? What do you like about Instagram? Like, no. Nobody cares. But then also the other stupid ones are, what do you do? How's life? What church you from? And like, where do you go to school? And how's work? And like that kind of stuff. Where it's like, yeah, okay, fine. They're all fine things to ask. But like, they're not great starters when you haven't really talked to these people. And like, you're trying to get a conversation started and see if you can be friends. It's baloney almost. It's weird. It's just, they don't work. None of them work. None of these conversation starters are very good. Now, are they terrible? No, but they're not great. They fall in that weird category of like, I don't know, of just terrible where it's either too deep, too shallow, or how do you even go from this? Like, there's no proceeding, or it's kind of like unless you like figure out how to go about, you're going to end up with this like, it doesn't work. Hello. What's your name? How do you even pronounce that? Wow. Is it OJ? No, it's OGUY. Ogu? Oguz? But your G has a weird... Reverse circumflex. No. Circumflex is a little thing. Sorry. Chapeau is a... Something grave. The hat. Chapeau. Whatever that's called. I thought it was circumflex. No, that's a little thing. No. Whatever that thing's called. I don't know what... Anyway, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. Ogsy? Ogsy? Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, so... I'm just saying. That's how it works. So... It's like... How do you... Good conversation starters are hard to get to because you don't want, like... And then the other one was I said something like... Because I saw it once. Was like... Just ask them, what's the meaning of life? And I said that in a conversation. And she was like... No. That is horrible. That is the worst ever idea. My friend said, find some like little thing that you could like point out or like you've noticed or something and be like, oh yeah, that I noticed that. What's it? Where'd you get it? What's it? Whatever. Like those kind of things. I'm like, yeah, but how do you? I guess the question isn't really what's a good conversation starter. It's how do you actually start a conversation? How do you mentally get to the stage of I'm going to walk up to that person and start a conversation? God, right? No offense, but oh, I just realized something. Never mind. It's okay. But yeah, what were they saying? Yeah, so how do you mentally do that? I'm actually reading a book called something like How to Get Over Your Fears or something. What is it called? It's called Feel Fear and Do It Anyway. Feel fear and do it anyway, basically. Have the courage to do whatever you want to do. Because somebody explained to me, and this is the technical, like this is the actual definition of courage. Courage is not doing something because you're not afraid of it. It's being afraid to do something and doing it anyway. That's courage. I am gosh darn scared. This was him. This was in a context of jumping off a diving board, a really high diving board. But I mean, it applies to anything you have to do. That you're scared of, right? It's that whole. Oh no, you're maybe terrified of what you have to do. Gosh, feathers, man. Right? Right? You might be terrified. You might be scared out of your mind, scared poopless, scared shitless, okay? But you're going to do it anyway, because that's courage. So, the courage you don't think is not because you are not afraid to do it. Courage is to do it anyway, right? It's to be scared out of your mind, but you're going to do it anyway. Terrified out of your mind, but you're going to do it anyway. Well, yeah, I mean, look, in my opinion, yeah, so, like, it's more, the question I should be asking is not, how do I start a conversation? It's more, how do I mentally and physically go up to like, how do I mentally start a conversation? Like, how do I mentally, in my head, start a conversation to physically go up to them and say, start a conversation. So, anyway. And a lot of this is because they're females, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, and they don't like me, and blah, 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 blah. So, blah, 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 blah. So, and it's still going to be weird, and because that's the thing. That's the difference between, conversation with a male. A tolls at the bell from atop your chamber door, quoth the raven nevermore. Yeah. Tolls of the bells atop your chamber door, rapping, or something like that, after chamber door, quoth the raven nevermore. Anyway. Yeah, because that's the difference between talking to a male and talking to a female. The male doesn't have the sexual tension, so you can start the conversation much easier. You know it's baloney, or you can figure out it's baloney, but you can start the conversation easier. The female, starting that conversation is weird because you don't know if the sexual tension is going to be there, and you're like... Although, I've kind of figured out kind of quickly if a female doesn't want this. It's like, okay, I'm going to back out, I'm going to back off, and it's going to be like, I'm going to back off, and it's going to be, okay, like, we can leave this conversation. You don't like this? You don't like it? That's fine. It's not super hard. But it's also really easy to figure out, oh, you don't feel that tension, sexual tension. oh, that's amazing. And it's like, bam. And it's very simple. It's easy to figure out what, you know. It's easy to figure out that, but not as, anyway, not as easy to anyway. But yeah, so personally, in my opinion, yeah. So the male has that, but you easily figure out baloney, whereas it doesn't have sexual tension, but it's baloney, or the same sexual tension. And then with females, it's like, oh, you know, there's a sexual tension there, and like keep breaking that sexual tension and seeing if we can go forward with past that is some of the hardest stuff ever. And going past to be friends and going past to being more than friends, those are like the hardest things to do in a relationship ever. Because like you can realize like, and then you've got that like they're talking to you, but you're like, I don't think you want this. Let's end it here. And you don't want to like just flat out say that. But at some points you might have to say that. Like, okay, I understand you don't want this. I'm gonna leave so that this doesn't become awkward and and bad, and we never have we can never in the future maybe possibly have a relationship. Let's just end here so nothing happens, and we don't get the wrong impression, and people don't get the wrong ideas and all that stuff. So it's my opinion on females. This is coming from a person who has never had a girlfriend in his life. So take it with a grain of salt. Don't listen to me too hard. This is not dating advice. Same way everybody goes, this is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. I'm just telling you what I know about what I know. Scratch like a chocolate. Stretch like a chocobo. Yeah, you and your stretching crap. But yeah. So I'm not saying I'm an idiot, but I'm also not saying I'm some love genius, love guru, right? I'm good. I'm fine. I'm okay. I do sit down way too long and I get my butt to go to sleep, but it's probably because like a lot of streamers say that same thing because they've been going for whatever 8 hours a day or whatever, it's 5 hours a day. But like it's probably because they don't get up and do anything. They don't move. If your body's telling you that you're falling asleep and your body's telling you something that you should move, blood flow, have blood flow in your body, right? But anyway, so yeah. Are they chocobo? Yeah. So yeah. But my best friend was a girl for 5 years. I had multiple friends who were girls. It was always easier for me to talk to girls. It was great. Because also girls don't judge you in the same way. You're a wacko, you're a weirdo, you're a freak, you're a creep, you're a cockamamie wackadoodle-doo. So, girls don't see that. I mean, unless the creep part, okay, sure, maybe. But they don't see you as like a weirdo. Well, yeah, maybe a weirdo, but like a freak and like lesser person, basically. Oh, you're awful, lesser human being. Like, they don't see you that way. The same way males do. Which is why males were always harder to... And yes, don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of other females that were just complete bitches. I'm going to say it right now. They were just bitches. I'm sorry. They were like the most like cold, evil-hearted bitches. Like feeling like coming off as evil-hearted bitches. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it right now. So I have had that other side of the females. But a lot of the females I had relationships with in any way. Relationships meaning friendships, not relationships. I should say friendships. I was friends with or associated with or conversed with were like great people, unlike the males who they were assholes. The males were just assholes. I'm sorry. I'm saying right now. They were just assholes. And a lot of them were just assholes. Or they turned into assholes. Or I like your brother, but I hate you. Or I was friends with you, but now your brother's less of an asshole than you are. Right? That's just that's just my experience. Like, this is from firsthand experience of, like, what's going on. Which is probably also why I gravitated towards females more than I did males, because all the males were assholes and the females were, like, decent human beings. At least most of them were decent human beings. I did know a few, like I said, a few bitches, but they were not the worst human beings. Most of them, 90% of them were decent human beings. So, this is just my personal experience, my first-hand experience of what happened there. Could I have gone farther with these people? Probably. Did I go farther with people? No. Because I also fell through, like, the relationships fell through or whatever. We just didn't stay in contact naturally, things and, like, whatever. So, which is fair, I guess. That happens in life, especially if you're like elementary school to high school, and then high school to college or CGEP or whatever, and then like CGEP to like life. Although CGEP to life is not actually as bad because unless they're going to go do something else with their life, like I actually got a job in extra Timbuktu, whatever, so we're never going to be around. Otherwise, that's more what do you call it? That's more um like you'll stay friends more often. It's the like high school to college or high school to life if you're not going to go to college, or high school to like whatever your trade school, whatever. A bit, high school and beyond. Like those friends probably die and be dead probably. If you have a friend from high school and you've been friends 10 years after high school, that's pretty good. Okay, that's like at least 10 years after. That's pretty good. Okay, actually that's pretty good. Now I'm not saying that's like the best, but I'm not saying like that can happen. I'm just saying like that's actually pretty impressive because you never like realize or like you don't like have a lot of those. I'm sure like most people probably don't have a lot of those, to be honest. Friends out of high school that were like friends, or here's the thing, friends before high school that you still have outside of high school. That's like after high school, like 10 years after high school. Now that's impressive because my best friend, neither of my two best friends from that era, high school era, which I had before high school, are my friends anymore. Well, one I don't know, but the other one ultimately was just like, I don't really care. Our relationship's kind of just not falling apart, but like it's falling out of favor. So let's just move on with our lives. I don't like this. I don't love you. We're not best friends anymore, so let's just move on with our lives. Don't associate with me anymore. Bye. I ain't gonna associate with you, so bye. Which is fair. It did kind of naturally die, and he like did things, and he gave it like a little bit of a little shit. But whatever. Little ass, little shit. But whatever, jerk. Whatever. The other guy was a bum. The other best friend was a bum, and I don't even know why I stayed with that guy for so long. But I like the guy a lot, and I still think highly of the guy. As in, like, I don't hate the man. I don't want to burn in hell. I've explained my totem pole of friendships before. He was pretty much in that like level of like we're best friends, but I don't know, liking wasn't at like a super high level of like oh we're like family. No, but no, it kind of naturally died too because like I don't know. To me, it naturally died. I don't know. Maybe they chose not to, or they hate me. I don't know. They both absolutely hate me and want me to burn in hell. I don't know. I did find them on Instagram one time, so. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm just saying, like, I've had lots of female friends, so. I never had a female best friend, though. No. Well, actually, that's not true. I just said that my best friend was a female for 5 years, so. Never mind. I'm a liar. Although that didn't last very long. It was 5 years of on and off seeing from pools and summer pool and this, that, and the other thing, and a few things here and there when we were homeschooled. But then once we got to the high school level, it's like, okay, I know. So anyway, I'm just saying I never kept friends who were girls, but as my best friend. And I didn't have that group that... Okay, I want to know something right now, right? Why is every TV show... I'm sorry. Why is every TV show... And a lot of the Disney shows, but lots of TV shows have this, like... There's a group of 3, and it's always 2 girls and a guy. It's never 2 guys and a girl. Or it's almost never. Sometimes it is. Because I can probably think of one if I think hard enough. But it's usually 2 guys and a girl. Sorry, 2 girls and a guy. And they're all best friends. And it's like, huh? Why? And the guy has no other male friends. So it's like, huh? Unless you're like unless you like sports team or band or something of that nature, right? But other than that, it's like, no, they don't have, or they have a brother maybe, and they like the brother. The brother's not a complete moron. They hate. I don't understand that in TV shows. It drives me nuts. Anyway, another thing that drives me nuts in TV shows is because I was watching Super 8, And I made the point. I'm like, TV shows do this, and movies, but TV shows do this all the time, where it's either one of two things. It's either you meet the person, right? A male and a female meet, and in 5 seconds they're already having intercourse. It's like, okay, calm down, or they're like in love. Calm down, or it goes on forever, and it's like, you know that these two people want to be together. Why don't you just make it together? Just put them together. Or they do the other thing where it's like, look, I hate you with a passion. And then by the end, they're like, oh, I love you. And it's not a natural progression. It's just eventually they decide one day, in one episode, now we love each other. It's like, what? Why? And so what happens in Super 8 is there's a very, 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 very natural progression. It's a, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't like you. It's, what was her name? Oh, fuck. I know it's, I forgot the character's name. That's so stupid. Joe? I know one's Joe. What's a female's name? Dakota Fanning's sister. What's her character's name? Give me the cast. Give me the cast. Plot. Where's the cast? Joe. Alice. That's it. Alice. Daynard. Yeah. Alice Daynard. Joe Lambert and Alice Daynard. Anyway. I was also thinking about, because I watched, on my Discord, I watched, Dragon, Fire, and Ice, and I realized there's some movies that can exist that are not connected to anything else. Although Dragon, Fire, and Ice was connected to a toy line that Mega Bloks made. But I'm saying it in, like, there's not supposed to be, like, a TV show, no video games, there's no toys, although that one had toys, but there's no toys, there's no, what was I saying? There's no, there's no, like, series of movies, none of it. It's just a one-off thing that just, because then why does this exist? It's like, oh, because a one-off thing can exist. So Super 8 is one of those things, too. But the thing with Super 8 is I was looking at the reviews, and I was like, I could see why people think it's not a good movie. Because it isn't. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm just saying it's my favorite movie. There's a difference there, right? In my opinion, it does a very good job of showing, the natural progression of the relationship between Joe and Alice. And then when Charles has to, like, realize, oh, she likes you, you like her, okay. And then Joe has to kind of be like, no, man, F you, bud. We're going to be a thing, and you can go screw off, man. Die in a fire for all I care, in the sense that, like, now, he didn't want to die in a fire, per se, but he means, like, I don't care what you think. Because he like, professes his love of Alice. He's like, no, that's more like to the person. Sorry, he tells Joe that he likes Alice. Charles tells Joe that he likes Alice. Charles, yeah. And then he's like, oh, well, sorry, too bad. Yeah, I know. You two like each other. She likes you. It's like, it's like, you're never going to get Alice. I'm sorry. You're Chuck. You're a loser. No offense. Not that Joe's not a loser, but Joe at least has some sort of something. Also, he's simping for her so hard. There were so many times. I've said this before, and I think it's so stupid. Like, ridiculous, where Joe... It's a part where... Okay, spoiler alerts. It's a part where Alice walks into Joe's room and does the whole thing where she explains, like, how her mother died. Or, yeah, her mother died. Right? Or, no, sorry, how his mother died. How Joe's mother died. And Joe and Alice's father every day thinks that it was all his fault and he hates his life and he wants to die, right? And at that moment, and she starts crying, right? Because she's, feeling empathy for Joe, right? And then he doesn't walk up there and hug her. Comfort her, you schmuck. Idiot. Ugh, man. You're an idiot. Comfort her. You like this woman. You like this girl. You want to potentially get in her pants. So, it drives me nuts. And there's so many parts of that movie, 3 or 4 or 5 times, where it's like, you're going to kiss, right? There'll be that one kiss scene, and it'll be great. And no, they hug multiple times. They hug like 2 or 3 times in the movie. And they never kiss. I'm like, why? That's so unsatisfying. Like, at the end of the movie, they didn't even, like, turn to each other and kiss. What the fuck? They just looked at each other like, this is our life now. Let's fix it. Gotta get back to fixing the town. We're together. Gotta fix the town. Ugh. It's like and they live happily ever after, but they don't kiss. Oh, it drove me nuts. I was like, no way. You're... Fuck. I think Charles is a little bitch. Little, like, oh, come on. Whiny little brat. My movie. Joe, you ruined my movie. Now you ruined my chances with Alice. It's like, shut up, man. You're never gonna get Alice. We all knew from the beginning, with your stupid attitude, you're never gonna get Alice. Sorry. Go after yourself. Carrie. Carrie has a male's name? I don't know. That's the guy with the fireworks and the firecrackers, the explosives, the pyromaniac. I was gonna say pyrotechnic, but no, pyromaniac. Likes fire, likes explosions. Actually, I don't know if there's a term for that, but likes explosions, not likes fire. But yeah, Carrie, weird name. Anyway, so yeah, the part where they're under the freaking, they're in the freaking hole with the giant alien. Why the heck did they not kiss when they met? Like, it would have been like they hugged. They should have kissed, and then Alice should have been like, let's get out of here. Or Joe should have been like, gotta get out of here, man. We don't have time for this baloney. That's probably what they implied. You can hug. Although they hugged for a significant amount of time. So it wasn't like it was like a quick hug and like, oh, we gotta get out of here. No. I don't get it. I just don't get it. That movie, even though it's my favorite movie, there are parts of that movie that like I can realize are bad and like whatever. And I can also understand why people don't like the movie. They a lot of people were reviewing it with a eye of like critical eye of like with the thinking thought process of like, well, this feels like a Spielberg movie without Spielberg, and it feels like you're trying to copy Spielberg and you do like a mediocre job. And I went, yeah, it's a 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a E.T. ripoff. It's a this, that, and the other thing. It's not bad. It's a favorite movie, but I can understand. I can realize why it's not the perfect movie. Like, just like my favorite video game. My favorite video game is Zelda: Ocarina of Time. But I know, I recognize the flaws in that game. I recognize that it's actually not that great a game. Like, not the perfect game, right? Right? And it's like, yeah. So, I understand that there are problems in plot holes and stuff and things that make that movie not perfect, but I still think it's my favorite movie. Because it used to be Back to the Future Part 2, and then I realized, no, I think I like Super 8 better. I honestly think I like Super 8 better. I don't know why, but I think that's now 4, actually. So I think it goes, my top 5. Super 8, okay. Monty Python and Holy Grail, Life of Brian, so I'll say 6, because Life of Brian, Back to the Future Part 2, The Animated Hobbit, and then Three Caballeros. Those are like top 6. That's it. You know? I think it just does that. Those are my top 6 movies. And they're great. 1, because of nostalgia. 2, because it's nostalgia. 1, because it's weird. And the rest because they're actually really, really good movies. I love them with a passion. So, anyway, so yeah. Well, I can see why people review it as not a very great movie, the Super 8, but but yeah. I love it. I see the flaws and the plot holes and all that, but I love the movie. Because there's a very natural, okay, like I started this conversation about Super 8. It was like they do a natural job of progressing their relationship. They come from like, I hate you, basically, to, okay, you're convincing me that you're not a terrible human being. Oh, you're charming me. Oh, I like you. Okay, we're a thing now. Whereas there's some shows where it's either 5 seconds they love each other and they're freaking having intercourse. Even in some movies, right? we've been dating, or the movie is this long and like it freaking went nowhere, and right at the end it you finally, because the two of you like each other, but finally, or in a TV show where it takes like freaking billion seasons to get to the point where like you two like each other, you know you like each other, we know you like each other, just why did it take so long to get anywhere? Or the ones where like, no, we hated each other with a passion. We always hated each other with a passion, but for some reason it was just turn around and one day magically, one episode magically is now they love each other. It's like, what? And not like, oh, we're gonna gradually, and then at the end of this, like the last season or something. No, it's always like, and boom, now we're a thing, and there you go. And it's like, what? You hated each other for so long, and now you're just like, and now you just love each other. How does this work? Because I just want to make a weird, like dichotomy. Is that what it is? Or like weird like juxtaposition of like, oh, these two people hate each other and they're like complete opposite of each other. Oh, now they're gonna love each other because that'll be a great addition to the story, to the plot, to the story. Like, no, nobody wanted that. We would be clamoring for that if that was the case. Anyway, that's just a stupid thing in my opinion that they'll do. This one did a very good job. I think it's one of the best ways where it gradually progressed into a like, here's time, and then here's how much we like each other. And so it's like, it does a nice progression of like, rather than just like, take forever, have the two hate each other and then randomly like each other. Or in 5 seconds, we have had intercourse, They've had intercourse, or the two of it, So. So yeah. At least in my opinion, that's my opinion on those things. It does a really good job of actually coming off as like not being a terrible relationship. It works well. So, it works really well too. So, there you go. It works. Is it perfect? No. Is it the best movie? No. But I think that's why I think it works well. Because it doesn't have any problems with the relationship. No, it doesn't. Is it perfect? No. But it doesn't have huge flaws in the relationship where it's like, oh, whatever. Do I think there should have been, it could have done more, different, better? Yeah, but do I have a problem? No. Fine. So let me just update it, see what's happened. Also, I want to know I'm looking at my Surface Tab Pro 3, which has. No, we're gonna start over. That has Linux Mint on it, and permission. There's a way to stop having to write sudo. Yeah, how? Yeah, I'm trying to look for the command that says accept all necessary. Okay. Is there a way to stop using command sudo? Switch. Whoa. Many distributions will have a group empowered to edit the configuration for various systems. So you put yourself in the group and open a new shell. I forgot it. Well, would it be better to point the document root to something in the home directory instead? No, that's not what I want. I want an actual answer to this. The sudo is one of those ridiculous commands that is being used and abused too frequently by new Linux users. Often I will see tutorials on the web there where 15 commands in a row will use sudo. In normal situations, you shouldn't need special permissions while logged on as a regular user. Recommended. I was at a company where everything they did use sudo. When I tried to ban it, For security reasons, they complained. After explaining the cryptic sudo config file, I saw a flaw, as always, that allowed me to root the system from the regular user. Sudo is extremely dangerous. Really? Well, what's the... I just want to know, what the heck? There is one. I know it. I know. My friend told me there was one. Problem is, what is it? There you go, without sudo. There you go. I just want to know. Let's suppose that we have the user test and then... But I don't want to use sudo, nor modify the sudoreal files, so possible using only the... If your account has sudo rights, then there's no need to mess with the sudo bit following. Okay. Add these to the end of... Okay, let me see if I do this. I'll open the second one. I don't need to open the second one. I'm going to minimize. Close all. We'll do this. Nope. We'll do this. Paste. Damn it. Okay, this, and then add what to the end of it? Username, host name, root. No password. I don't know how to do this. I don't want this anymore. I just want to know what's the one. I hate this. Flowers live in the rain, and it goes like it is what it is, what it is. Anyway, so yeah. If you know how to use Linux well, please let me know, because I'm like still learning Linux. I don't know if I need the actual other thing or the last thing. No, I don't. Okay. Then you got... Oh, wait. Maybe I have to change that. Actually, sorry. Let's just do that. What is it now? No. Password. No. Slash. Sorry. User bin apt-get. Bin apt. No. Dash get. Control A. Go like this. And copy now. Copy. Cool. A near unexpected token. What? Bash syntax error. Let's try it again. What would be the problem here? Probably did that this way. What is. It's users, right? It's not... Oh, it's slash user, sorry. There. User slash bin. Slash bin slash get... Okay, let's see if that works. Nah, forget it. Fine. I'll save this, but no. Okay, cool. I don't know what it is. There is a command. My friend told me a command. Yeah, cool. I see a better way to do it. Is this Linux.com? No, it's Unix. I am sure the question has been asked before, but can't find an answer. Well, it's password clock. I would like to configure Linux so that when I enter specific commands, i.e. apt-get, I wouldn't have to enter passwords. I have to the right now. Are you meaning to run after without sudo, or just when you do it. Okay. You can't configure Linux not to require sudo. Some commands need to be executed as root. If you want to trigger them from an unprivileged account, sudo or some other privileged escalation mechanism is necessary. You can configure sudo not to require a password. Let's try this then. Syntax error again. It's admin all equals all. Freaking syntax. Oh, I see. Maybe it's like this one then. Let's try this then. There. God, I have no idea. Never mind then. I'll save this, but yeah. Note that that allowing after is as dangerous as allowing any command, since the caller could pass options that cause AppData to get download packages from sources that they specify that cause it to invoke hooks that they specify. Okay, yeah. vi sudo to configure. Okay, there. Is it this? Vi sudo. Permission denied. Okay, I have no idea. Fine, forget it. This is stupid. So Mansuro for details. Copy. Command not found. Probably the all part is stupid. Maybe it's just one all. Sorry. It's just one all. Let's see. Ah, I hate it. This app has super cow powers. What is going on? Usage. I don't know. I think it's gonna be it for now, guys. So let's go see, Choco, whatever his name is. Let's go raid somebody. Raid channel. No, not Choco, whatever. This guy. Where's raid channel? Raid channel. Raid channel. I want Retro Gamer. Let's raid him. I have to go to him. Let's raid him. I'm not gonna be here very long, but let's raid him. Raid now. Now to go back to Twitch, and then I gotta go to my home screen. Following, and this guy, and then kill this. Cause I don't want this. I don't want this. I want to go here. Thank you.
Great to see you, my friend. I'm so happy to see you. I was gonna raid you today.
Download and display the catalog. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. So if you know anything about Linux, let me know. I'm gonna end my stream now.
How you doing, man? I was actually gonna raid you because I hadn't seen you for a while, man. It's wild. I have not seen you for a while. I was gonna talk to you, but I was in mid-stream and I didn't want to turn your stream up while I was streaming. So I see you're talking, just chatting. You must have had a lot to say. I hope that it was good news. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna end my stream now. So I think it's gonna be it for now, guys. So adios, mi amigos.